out there, YouTubers, Facebookers, bloggers, and other internet junkies like myself. My name is Michael Cody Lawler, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about myself and my new blog, iParadise. My name, like I said, is Cody. Cody is much easier to remember. And I live in Arkansas. I was born in Tennessee, but I grew up here in Arkansas, moved here when I was just a baby. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of a history lesson about myself and just kind of where I came from and everything. I grew up in a pastor's family. My grandfather, actually, is a pastor. So I was raised around ministry and just a God-centered home my entire life. That doesn't mean that I wasn't without error, however, because I grew up with some insecurities and some things that developed into some major issues when I was a teenager. And some stuff that I struggled with a lot. And maybe we'll go deeper into that another time. I'm going to give you guys kind of an overall view of kind of my life a little bit. But I experienced some deep emotional wounding that sent me into a place of searching early on in my life, where I found some very unhealthy things that I tried to fulfill myself with. There were addictions I struggled with, and just things that overall were very detrimental to me. I found myself in a relationship that was very unhealthy and was just starving me spiritually, emotionally. It was just a very taxing thing for me. But I was so dependent upon this relationship that I was in. I was willing to give up my family and everything to pursue this, just to pursue this life of just temporal pleasures and things that I wanted to do, and the way that I wanted to go and do life. Fortunately for me, I had a pretty serious wake-up call when my little brother actually witnessed firsthand the life that I had been living behind his back. And that has a way of really shaking somebody. When the people that you love the most are affected by your choices, it definitely has a way of making you look at things from a different perspective, and maybe some of you know what I mean. You've experienced some things where choices that you made really affected the people that you love the most in negative ways, and you realize that it's really because they love you that it hurts them so bad. But anyway, that was kind of what really caused the wake-up call for me. And I knew that I needed to set my life on a different path. And so that was kind of the catalyst that God used to send me back in the right direction. So for 3 years after that, I was in a program called Master's Commission. And it's a 3-year program, so I finished it. And in this program, I encountered God in such an intimate and life-changing way that I would never take back or exchange for anything. I went into it thinking it was just a Bible school where I was just going to study and things like that. Not so at all. I got to this program and I was just immediately thrown into the most intense environment that I've ever been in my life, where I learned a lot about relationships, my relationship with God, my relationships with people, and my relationship with myself, and just being me. That was a big part of my journey, was just learning who I was. And I found who I was in the context of knowing who God is and in the relationships that I had become a part of. So God did a lot in me in those 3 years that if you really were to have known me back then, you would really understand it and get a better picture of really what it was like for me. But I can say that it was a great place for me, a great program. A lot of people that I know choose to go to Master's Commission when they're in their high school years, and they're just wondering, like, what is the next step for me? That's what most people that I know who go to Master's Commission, that's the stage of life that they're in. And so they end up going to Master's Commission and really finding their way, and finding their path. And for me, I can honestly say that I've never had a more clear perspective on my life or the direction of my life and just the steps that I'm supposed to take. It really did a lot for me in the areas of structure and discipline and principles, and just living a life of principles. That was a huge thing for me, was grasping those concepts. And it's brought me so far since being in that program. So that's just a little bit about myself, where I've come from, and kind of what I've been doing. I'm home now, which, like I said, is in Arkansas, because I just recently graduated Master's Commission. And so now, what is iParadise? Well, it is a blog that I'm starting. Why? Well, first of all, I love God so much, and I love telling other people how much I love God, because I would love to see other people be able to experience the radical love of God for themselves. And so that's kind of what I want to do on this, is just share God with people. I can't by any means teach anyone who God is, because what I've grasped of Him is so small in comparison to how big He really is and how deep He is. So that's the thing, is I can't teach you who God is, but I can share with you what I've witnessed of who God is, and His love, and His character, and just the little things of Himself that He has shared with me. I'm able to tell and to share with people. And hopefully what I'm able to share about Him will resound in your spirit and within you, and will connect with you, because I want to encourage and empower people to live this life, and just to truly live this journey, by the power of the Holy Spirit, and just out of relationship with God. This right now is actually not an official episode of the blog. This is just a very casual, rough thing that I'm just throwing together so that it's coming. But you'll have to keep watching, because next Monday will be the first episode of the blog. And just keep an eye out every week for new episodes, for weekly episodes, and then also there will be updates daily. So just keep an eye out at my blog at iparadise.tumblr.com. I'm going to include a link on the description and everything, so just keep an eye on that. And I just hope that you're blessed by it. That really is what matters the most to me. I mean, I will stumble over my words and things like that, and I have editing to deal with those things. But really, I just hope that you're blessed by it. I hope you're encouraged by it, and that's the most important part of it to me. So thank you for watching. Everybody who's out there, leave me feedback, subscribe, add me as a friend, whatever it is, follow, whatever it is that you're watching this through right now, and just keep updated. I would love to be able to get feedback from people and, message me, ask me questions, comments, even things that you would like to share with me that God has shared with you, or that you've experienced in some way, some experience that you've had. I would love to hear people's testimonies and just your stories, because I think that that's a big part of learning, of learning about God is hearing the way other people have experienced Him and have encountered Him in their own lives. And I love learning, and I love hearing people's stories. So please feedback, share whatever you have, and keep watching, keep updated, and keep posted. And if you have something that you would like discussed or talked about in some post on the blog, in whatever, just let me know, and I'll see what I can do. So once again, thanks for giving me the time of day and your attention and your ears and eyes and whatever else, and hope that this is not the last time that you hear from me. Thanks again, everybody. Bye.